None of y'all better mess with me, because I'll drop you. Okay, I can stop now. Oh, it's still going. Turn off. Turn off. Turn off. Okay. Sorry about that. Welcome back, everybody, to Run or Hide Gaming. Guys, it is the first Monday of September, which means it's time for another edition of Mighty Morphin Monday. That way. Yeah. It's like, which arm am I controlling? Yes, graphics here. It's not a mirror image, but it's confusing. Also, you guys can only see that graphic on Twitch. You can't see it on TikTok. That's right. We are live on both Twitch and TikTok. We do not go live on YouTube for these streams because I tend to show a decent amount of copyrighted material, and going live on YouTube would be a very bad idea. But this will be up on YouTube, hopefully by tomorrow at the latest. But yeah, guys, it is the first Monday of the month. It is the first day of September. It is Labor Day, so I hope for all of you that actually had your day off from work. I did not. Unfortunately, my day job, I have to work on Labor Day, but whatever. Was not a busy day. Oh my God, David. Hello, David. Hello, Psycho Silver 98. You're the only person on here who's a Power Ranger fan. So you better chime in, David. God damn it. Chime in with your thoughts, your opinions of the topic this week, or this month, excuse me. So, yeah, so if you guys are new to what Mighty Morphin Monday is, basically the first Monday of every month. Yes, it's morphing time. Exactly, David. Exactly. Every Monday, every first Monday of the month, I do a little stream, chat, what have you about Power Rangers. I try to pick a topic, something fun, something hopefully that like we can just discuss that's not, mean or, is going to lead to like bullying or trolling. Just like, hey, so the topic for this month is why Power Rangers Super MegaForce did not work. I didn't say why it's the worst season ever, why it's so bad. Like, we will talk about its negatives. Because it's something I've been wanting to discuss for a while. I know a lot of people have discussed it already on online, but I would like to share my thoughts and opinions. We'll start off with as I like to start off with a Super Sentai movie. I'll tell you what the movie is in just a moment, and then we'll watch that. That's why yeah, the sound. Yes, the sound. You guys, if you're watching this live, you can hear it. If you are watching this later on Twitch or YouTube, that shit's going to be muted because that is how we do not get a copyright strike and whatever on Twitch. I don't know what the rules are with TikTok. They haven't done anything either, so I'm assuming we're good on that. So we usually watch the movie, and then we will I'll go through my little spiel, my little thoughts. I do apologize. I did not have a whole lot of time to prep for this one. I usually try to put everything together, usually try to get some, write down some notes and some talking points and stuff. I just did not have a chance to do that. I organized a little bit. Basically, what was going on is, so this past weekend, I spent, so my weekends are Monday and, oh my God, my weekends are Friday and Saturday. So I spent most of Friday cleaning my apartment because it very much needed it. I have not cleaned my apartment in quite a while because Carla and Dylan, my lovely co-hosts here on RunOrHideGaming, were coming over to do a group stream. They were coming over at noon on Saturday, so it's like, well, I kind of have to do it on Friday. So that took all day. So that took a good portion of the day. I had some other stuff I had to get done that day, so I just didn't really have time to organize then. So then Carla and Dylan came over on Saturday around like 12:30, 1 o'clock in that general range. We hung out, for a while. We did the stream. They left around like, I don't know, around like 11-ish or so. So yeah, and then yesterday, Sunday, I had to work, and then I go over to my parents' house for dinner. So yeah, I did not have a whole lot of time to prep for this one. I do apologize, but should still be fun. I got some clips, some stuff. So we'll go through it, share my thoughts, opinions, and again, if you guys have thoughts and opinions on the topic, I really encourage you guys to chime in. Again, I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it friendly. Please do not bully. Please do not troll. Please do not give us a reason to ban you. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Evil Rangers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't be an evil ranger. Yeah, that's all I ask, guys. I think that's a fair. Like I said, I want these streams to be fun. I'm not here to shit on anybody. I'm not here to, cause problems. I'm just here to have fun, entertain. Like that is the goal here for the Mighty Morphin Mondays. Ugh, but oh yeah. Oh man, I've had like a pain in my side for like since yesterday. I think it's just not to be gross. I think it's just built up gas. Ugh, like so yeah. My stomach's been a little uncomfortable since yesterday. I think it's just I gotta like again not to be gross. I think I just need to fart it out. But yeah, side's been a little bit sore, but yeah. So if I seem a little bit off tonight, I apologize, but yeah, I think I'm okay. No, I do not think I have appendicitis. I do not think my appendix is about to burst, because if it was, I would be in like horrible, crippling like pain, and it's not really super painful. It's just uncomfortable. That's why I think I just gotta like fart my brains out, and then that should hopefully fix it. I think it's just a combination sometimes of stuff that I eat that it just, messes up the old stomach, but I'll be okay. I'll survive. But yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody enjoyed Power Ranger Day on the 28th of August. The August 28th, 1993 is when Power Rangers originally aired on Fox Kids. I think that was like the special preview, like the special sneak peek, and then like a few days later, then it was like the official airing. Yeah. One thing I wanted to show you guys before I get to the Super Sentai movie is I was reading. I finally finished this book. Ugh, my hand's covering it. You guys see it? By Joshua Moore. It's Joshua Moore, right? Yeah. Joshua Moore. Oh my God. Glare. It's terrible. I'm doing a terrible job, but it's hilarious. Morphin novel, How Power Rangers Conquered the World. It was a really good read. Very interesting. It just kind of goes through the history of how Power Rangers came to be, all kind of the the kind of business end of it, the behind the scenes stuff, like it kind of goes in. Nice, yeah, thank you, David. Yeah, it goes through there's some stuff I already knew about. Like I knew that originally Stan Lee wanted to make like a Super Sentai American adaptation, and nobody wanted to do it then. Then Saban wanted to do it since the 80s, and everybody laughed him out of the room. And then finally this one studio head, executive, whatever, saw potential in it. Everybody was kind of against it. It's like, oh, what is this? This is the dumbest thing ever. And it goes into a lot of that stuff, the kind of I don't know, business side of it, kind of political side of it. It goes into detail with stunt coordinators and ADR people, engineers, people write who wrote a lot of the seasons. It kind of gets into them. It's got snippets of interviews from people, whether or not they were interviewed specifically for the book or if it's archival interviews, stuff like that. I'm not paid or sponsored or endorsed at all from this book. I bought it with my own freaking money. I bought that shit on Amazon. But yeah, if you're interested in kind of learning all the backstory stuff, it's in there. So it was an interesting read. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna reference a couple of things in my little spiel tonight. So yeah, so we'll get into that. But yeah, so that was kind of the first thing I wanted to go over. But yeah. What we are going to play tonight is a Another one of my favorite. I'll bring it up in a second. Super Sentai movies. Let's go to here. I want to make sure I'm in the right browser because this one, I have two, so I've got like two set up. They're like slightly different. I didn't fix that, but yeah, this one sound won't be recorded to Twitch. This one sound will be recorded to Twitch. So I gotta make sure I use this one. It's like, you don't need to tell us that, Steve. It's like, yeah, well, I did, so whatever. Got my headphones on so I can listen along with you guys. So yeah, so the reason why I kind of chose this movie is kind of obvious because we're going to be talking about Megaforce and Super Megaforce, which in America was the same team, but in the world of Super Sentai, it was two separate teams, and this is their team-up movie. Gokaija versus Goseija, the Super Sentai 199 Hero Great Battle. Like I said, is one of my favorite Super Sentai movies. It is one that really, it came out like early-ish on when Gokaija, which was adapted in Super Megaforce, came out. And it's very nostalgic. It's a great homage to, at the time, like Gokaija was like the 35th anniversary of Super Sentai. Now they're like 50 plus years. So this is like 2000. I think this is like 2011 or something in that general 2011, something in that general time frame. But whatever. In the case, they team up. The movie's about 100. Oh my god. It's about like an hour and 20 minutes. It's probably the longest one I've shown on on this stream so far, but it's all good. We'll watch it and then we'll talk about the topic, and then round 11 we'll call it a night. So yeah, like I said, if you guys have thoughts, opinions, I really highly encourage you. We're live on both Twitch and TikTok, so if you guys have thoughts, opinions on Super Sentai, Power Rangers, doesn't even have to be on the topic that we're talking about. If you have something you want to talk about, go for it. All right, let's start the movie. Let me know if you guys can hear it okay. Settings should be the same as they were last time. Yeah. Super Sentai series, yeah. This is Goseija fighting the golems or whatever, aka X-Borgs. The Zangaku, as they're called in Super Sentai. Senpai means teacher, if you didn't know that. Well, elder, I guess. Yep. It's first ever Super Sentai, Go Ranger, from 1975. That is Big One from Jacka, the second series. Deco Ranger! My Defender, female, samurai. All those guys. All the people that are not quite Super Sentai, but are allies. Yeah, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of references in this. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. Hell yeah, look at all them. Look at all them there. All 35 seasons, all 34 teams. Go 5, Denji Man. Gal Ranger. Die Ranger. Dynaman. Jew Ranger. I know all this shit. Ginye Jetman. Footage was later taken for the end of Super MegaForce, a legendary battle, which was not great, but we'll get to that. It's always weird kind of seeing the like the 1975 like costumes in like a more modern like HD video. Like they look so out of place. Like it works in 19 when you're watching something from 1975 because it's like, yes, this looks old. So the cheesiness kind of blends together, but when they're in like a more modern one, it's just like it looks so odd. Hey, Dylan, what is going on? Thank you for joining us on the old Tiki Talk. So what's happening is, sup. How you been for the past, like, 2 days since I've seen you? Nothing much, just been chillaxing. Good. Dylan has, designed me and Carla some new, title, banners. Now watching whatever the heck is going on. You didn't miss much, Dylan. This is the battle, the legendary battle, if you will, that all the previous Super Sentais fought and gave up their powers to save the Earth. You know how that goes. Basically, the 35th season is about Gokaija, which are like Super Sentai that are pirates, and they show up like a few years after this happens, and they have access to all the previous Super Sentai powers. And makes sense. I know I'm not explaining it right, but yeah, you guys get what I'm saying. That is Aka Red, who has shown up in a few different anniversary specials. So this is the Go Seija team, who are angels. And these are other rangers from other seasons. Yeah, so basically all 34 past Super Sentai teams fought and gave up their powers to destroy the enemy so they couldn't take over Earth. It's all you need to know. It's all you need to know at this point. If you have questions, you are more than welcome to ask them, and I will try to answer them the best I can. Oh, no, they're back. Mm, mm. Yeah. Hell yeah. Shit's fucking epic. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so they're pirate themed. They're kind of anti-heroes. They came to Earth looking for the greatest treasure in the universe. Dang, Steve, the language. Sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's maddening. I don't think Twitch cares. TikTok, I don't know what the rules are. Also, probably shouldn't be cursing while we're watching programming made for children, but whatever. Who cares? Yeah. Yeah, so they can transform at any past Ranger team. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. Hmm. Fun fact about Five Man, it was the first Super Sentai series that all the Rangers were siblings. Mm. Oh, what's gonna happen? So the previous team, Go Seija, just stole back their powers, basically. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. By the way, if you wonder why I'm looking down, it's because I'm watching it on my laptop screen. Go Say Night is Robo Knight. Just clearing up any confusion. Mm. Mm. Also, I mean, like, the Gokaija are just so badass. They're one of my favorite Super Sentai teams. Not done justice in Super MegaForce, that's for sure. Mm. Mm. I can do that too. See? Yeah, yeah. Mm. Mm. So yeah, so these guys are space pirates. Like I said, they are on Earth searching for the greatest treasure in the universe, and they also happen to have all the past Super Sentai powers as keys. And every time they get closer to getting to the ultimate treasure, they unlock new powers from other Super Sentai teams. So yeah, it's cool. And these guys are angels because why not? They were definitely weren't going to do angels for America. That probably would have been too weird and too controversial for American TV. So they're like, just call it Megaforce. Oh my God, who's showing up? So this guy was the original villain in Go Ranger, the first Sentai series. they upgraded his costume for this. He does not look this good in the original series. I can pull up a picture after this and show you. Mm, mm. So this guy, they'll show who he is in a minute, and then I'll explain it. So he was the Blue Ranger in Denji Man. Before that, he was the Black Ranger in Battle Fever J. And he was also Space Sheriff Gavin, which was another series. Started the Metal Hero series, which is what VR Troopers and Big Bad Beetleborgs were adapted from. So yeah, this guy's been in some stuff. Mhm. We got some other cameos. I'll explain who they are in a second. He is the Red Die Ranger. That is where the Thunder Zords came from. Deca Ranger obviously became Power Rangers SPD. Like I said, they got a good amount of cameos, not just in this movie, but throughout Gokaija, which was cool. Didn't really do a whole lot of that in Super MegaForce, but again, we'll get to that later on in the stream. And that's just some clinically depressed guy. Mm, mm. Did somebody say Megazord battle? Technically, they're not called that in Super Sentai, but it's a Megazord battle. Mhm. That's their robot parrot that helps them find the clues to getting the ultimate treasure in the universe. Just clearing that up. Just clearing all this shit up for you noobs out there who are like, what the hell is this? Da da da. Hmm. Hmm. And he's got the Ranger keys. Hmm. Yeah. I'll explain who these guys are. AKA, what is it? What's his name in Super MegaForce? Vrock, yeah. I was like, I'll just say Drax, and that's very wrong. He is he's from Go Anja, aka RPM. And then the other guy is from Magi Ranger, aka Power Rangers Mystic Force. Will the Gokaijin Go Sheija get out of this predicament? Tune in and find out. I mean, I know because I've seen this before, but you guys might not know. I think that is like just a set in Japan that anytime they have to shoot something in the Edo era, they just use. They've used this set for a bunch of shows. Mm, 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 mhm, mhm, mm, mm, mm. Because they're good guys. Mm, mm. Hmm. Yeah, he's definitely a funnier villain than he is in RPM. I don't know what Nari ni means, but someone out there does. And now back to the depressed guy. Oh, dude, I've been there. I've been there, bruh. That is a toy of the uh, Go Rangers ship plane thingy. I forget what it's called specifically, but yeah, they didn't have a giant robot until Battle Fever J. The first two Sentais had like basically like airships. Now you know that, and now you can never not know that. That's a good lesson. It's a good lesson. Those still look like good dumplings. Yeah. Yep, that's a dog, all right. Oh my God. Are they gonna work together? Yeah, they're gonna work together. Spoilers. Spoilers, but also obvious. Mm-hmm. I'm just enjoying watching this. I do like that running gag, how they're basically the same character. Mm. I don't know why he says I'm sorry in English, but he does. Mm. Ah, man. My hat's like drilling into my brain. I want to take it off. Uh, the hat gets uncomfortable. Why did he let himself get hit? You will see. It's a zombat. Mm, mm. Yay, teamwork. Also, this music is epic. Watching this live, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, then you can't hear it. Sorry. Yeah, this is the best part of the movie. You'll see what happens. Mhm. Mm. Yep, they gotta fight all the past Super Sentai teams. This is also an idea that I wish Super MegaForce would have done. I mean, it would have been that hard, but, you know, whatever. We'll get into that. We'll get into missed opportunities later. I like how they're using old footage. I like we're not recreating this stuff. Take that, Dynaman. Take that, Car Ranger. Take that, Ava Ranger. Take that, Dino, or, uh, uh, Denji Man. I was like, I know this. Kaku Ranger. Mm. Take that fight, man. Again, 5-man. First, Super Sentai seem to be all siblings. I think, unless I'm wrong. There's Battle Fever J, the third Sentai series, which, I'm sorry, has the ugliest costumes out of any Super Sentai series. I know it was like the 70s or whatever, but those costumes are just not great looking. There's all the 6 heroes. Yeah, the green Gokage is kind of a coward. In case you haven't picked up on that yet. Sorry, this is just a cool fight scene, so I just enjoy watching it. If I got any trivia, I'll chime in. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here and watching it. It's so many teams. Him again. Like, he's not gonna go. It's like, if he didn't get bigger, that'd be, again, very missed opportunity. Mm. Cheap viewers, you say? Sorry about your band. And ban. We ban bots here at RunOrHideGaming because screw 'em. Yep, that's the original Aka Ranger. I think that actor is still alive. This is from like 2011, but I think that guy's still alive. That guy, I don't know. Mm, mm. Oh, hell yeah. Yay. Ruh-roh. Hmm. Oh no, will they stop him? Tune in and find out. My guess is probably. Hmm. Mhm. Yeah, I like how this guy had a little bit of an arc. He lost hope and then he got it back. Like, that's a cute little subplot. And, and what's the payoff? You're about to see. Mm, 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 mm. Oh shit. Oh hell yeah. Mhm. It's all the Megazords. They're technically giant robots or mechs, but we'll call them Megazords. Hell yeah. So the music that's playing right now is from Go Ranger. Mm-hmm. Mhm. 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 No, they got Go Ranger power. Mm. Mm. Mhm. Mm. Mm. It's like, you're the bad guy, so you're the bad guys are gonna lose. Mhm. Good. It's like good. Good for you guys. Hmm. Yep. Look, Silver Ranger. This, yeah, this happens right before he shows up. Duh. But. Mm, mm, mm-hmm. 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 My phone almost fell over. Alrighty, let's go back to the chatting screen here, everybody. What'd you guys think? Wasn't that super fun, super epic? Did a great job of paying homage and respect to the previous Super Sentai series, just full of nostalgia and all that. And then what did we end up doing in America? Almost none of that. Alrighty, everybody. So yeah, that is Go Seija versus Go Kaija versus Go Seija. I wanted to show that movie because obviously it ties into what we're talking about tonight. Is why Super Megaforce just didn't work. Um, I know some people out there that like Megaforce and Super Megaforce. If you do, that's fine. No judgment here. It's a judgment-free zone. But in terms of what they were, of what it should have done, I was going to say what they were trying to do. It's like, well, they weren't trying super hard, but yeah. So Yeah, so let's kind of get into it. So, back in, 20, yeah, so I think, yeah, 2013, 2014, where we got to the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers. I mean, now we're like at what, 32 years, which is also crazy. So yeah, we're obviously far removed from that. But yeah, for the 20th anniversary, they adapted two series. Where are we at? We got Megaforce and Super Megaforce. It would help if I pulled this up. Yeah, we got Megaforce, we got Super Megaforce. Both completely different series, but they decided to adapt them into two different seasons with the same cast, which is fine. But the problem is that they kind of didn't really do it in a way that was that fun or that nostalgic or that interesting, and kind of went down in history as a low point for Power Rangers. Uh, yeah. All right. So yeah. So we'll back up a little bit. So if you guys follow Power Rangers, you know that RPM was the final Disney season of Power Rangers. Disney owned Power Rangers for quite a number of years. They ended with RPM, which I think didn't really get super great ratings, but was a very well written, very kind of dark series. And then in 2010, Hayam Saban bought back the rights to Power Rangers, and then he did Power Rangers Samurai, which was kind of like which felt very much throwbacky. It was very it felt very, they even brought back kind of similar music. Um, had kind of the similar tone of like 90s series cheesiness. Also very much just kind of adapting the stories that Super Sentai was telling, instead of kind of doing their own thing, their own stories, which can work, but to me, Power Rangers is at its best when it's doing its own thing and just adapting the footage that it needs to adapt. Like, Megazord footage, some battle footage, you know, all that fun stuff that they're just not going to reshoot for America. And so in 2013, we got Power Rangers Megaforce, the start of a two season, I guess, anniversary season, which, started off pretty good. I will say this. The first episode of Megaforce is actually not bad. Like, actually starts off kind of epic. Like, okay, I don't know why I did that, but you got the borrowed footage from the legendary battle. So we got kind of an epic sort of dream sequence, if you will. Um, so yeah, we're introduced to all the Rangers for this season. We've got Troy, the soon-to-be Red Ranger.
As for all others on Earth.
We got Gia and Emma, the Yellow and Pink Rangers. Uh, and we've got Noah.
Robots are machines, so technically they're not a species.
And
Powerful and smart.
and Jake, the Black Ranger.
Ah, you must be Troy. Nice of you to join us. Maybe you can answer our brain teaser.
So yeah, so you know, I like the fact that they were going back to basics for an anniversary season. Just simple, you know. Again, we're doing teenagers with attitude, you know, kids in high school. You know, they're similar to the original Rangers, similar personalities, but not completely ripping them off. Um, so yeah, episode. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of scroll through it because, like I said, this you will be able to hear on YouTube later. So if I play too much of it, I'm gonna get very much copyright flag. But yeah, just simple plot. Al- aliens come to Earth, and invade. Blah blah blah. We've got. Yeah, they're not really. Not all of them are all friends yet. They kind of, Jake has a crush on Gia, blah, blah, blah. Skip ahead, skip ahead. We got Zordon and Alpha-esque characters. That's Tensu.
I was catching some great Z's. How long were we snoozing?
Years.
No wonder I'm so groggy.
Wake up. Aliens have already landed on Earth. It's time to assemble a new team of heroes. The most energetic and unstoppable group that exemplifies the enduring human spirit.
Energetic and unstoppable. Don't say it.
Teenagers. Get me 5 kids with talent and attitude and get them now.
Yep, so again, very reminiscent of the original. We even have a Ernie character, which it's not a youth center this time. It's a frozen yogurt restaurant in a mall. I don't even know if you can call it a restaurant.
Hey, Tibbs. What can I get for you?
The usual. But make it 3. One for each of us and one for the very pretty girl in the corner.
Sure.
Skip ahead a little bit. They all end up in the command center.
Here.
Just where is here?
It worked. It worked.
What is that? Wow. An old school robot. Like in the movies.
Old school.
I like this part too. I like the Ranger keys lining the command center. Good nod to the past series.
Freaky tiki.
You know, so it's cool.
Believe it. I've seen these before. In my dreams. This is amazing.
Welcome, humans. I am Gosen.
Blah blah. Skip ahead a little bit. He goes through the reasons why they're chosen to be Rangers.
Oh, yes, on screen. Activated.
Emma, you're not only a great BMX cyclist, but you also truly care about the environment. You go to great lengths to take care of it. You shall soar up from the flames like a phoenix and be the Pink Ranger.
Pink is my favorite color. But what's this ranger deal?
Noah, your thirst for knowledge is unequaled. Our future depends upon the work of great scientific...
So he's a Billy-esque character.
As the Blue Ranger, your attacks will bite with the force of a shark. There's nobody with the boundless athleticism and enthusiasm to match you, Jake. I am making you the Black Ranger, who will fight with the stealth of a snake. Then there is Gia. You are calm under pressure and pursue excellence with the ferocity of a tiger. You will be the Yellow Ranger. As for you, Troy, your purity of spirit and strength are the result of incredible discipline. Since you have met adversity in your life with great skill, you shall be the Red Ranger.
Also, okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. They never bring up what adversity he came over. Not one, not ever. Yeah, well, we'll get more into Troy in a few minutes.
And like the dragon, you will serve as the team's leader.
There must be a mistake here. I'm new in town.
There is no mistake. You have been chosen because of your skills and character.
Who are they?
He doesn't really have much of a character, but all right.
Who came before you. Now you shall form a new team. Each of you will be given access to extraordinary powers that will help you protect the Earth. Those are your morphers. With them, you will morph into Mega Rangers. You will wield power cards that will unlock special weapons and abilities. And you shall command mighty machines called Megazords.
Morphers, power cards, Megazords? All of this tech, how do we use it?
All will be revealed in time.
If the Earth is under attack,
I tell you now, but the episode's only 20 minutes.
we're in.
Megaforce, your mission starts now.
Yep, so yeah, bad guys, blah, blah, blah. You know, so yeah, so it starts off, you know, they get the powers. They fight to protect people, you know, like the good people that they are. Yep.
Gosei told us the morphers will give us power. Let's use them. Follow my lead. It's morphin' time. Go, go, Megaforce! Megaforce, red! Megaforce, blue! Megaforce, black!
It's not wholly obvious that they're supposed to be angels, so it's like he called Megaforce, fine, fine, you know. It works, you know. But yeah, they do their thing, blah, blah, skip ahead, skip ahead. How do they use the Megazord in this episode? Yeah. Now they use the blaster, and then it's like, alright. Then nice little wrap up in the command center.
Congratulations on a job
In the
well
command center.
But we were just lucky this time.
Luck had nothing to do with it. You rose to the occasion and unlocked your powers. Do not doubt yourselves. You were chosen, and for good reason. This morning you were regular kids leading normal lives. But now you must master your new powers and live extraordinary lives.
This has to be the craziest first day of school ever. But I think we're prepared to do our part.
I'm not so sure. The helmet does mess up my hair. Just kidding.
We're a force to be reckoned with.
Yes, you are the Power Rangers Megaforce. Earth's defenders never surrender!
Okay, so, like I said, good first episode of Megaforce. Good introduction. You know, it's quick, but it sets up the characters. And you're like, okay, cool. And it works also, like, it's 20th anniversary. You know, I like the fact that they went back to basics. That was a good little thing. Some nods to, you know, it's basically a remake of Day of the Dumpster, obviously. Which, again, is fine for an anniversary season. We set up some other side characters. There's the Mr. Burley. Well, there's Ernie, the guy who runs the Froyo. I call it a restaurant, shop. I don't know. It's in a mall. Mr. Burley, the kind of quirky, eccentric teacher. We get Gosei, we get Tensu, or Zora and Alpha-esque characters. And it's also like if you were a little kid in, 2013 or, whenever this started, if this was your first, introduction to Power Rangers, you'd probably like it. So, good start, but it sadly goes downhill from there. Because I remember watching the first episode in 2013, which, I still would have been an adult somewhere in my 20s. I graduated from college in like 2010, so this was post-college years, so I was slightly more mature. Now I'm in my mid-30s and I'm talking about a children's show. Back then I was just in my mid-20s. Anyway. Got to keep you guys somewhat entertained. So where it basically starts to go downhill is they introduce the characters. Like I said, they introduced all these little things, but then they never really expand on anything, which becomes the problem. My thing with Power Rangers, what makes or breaks a Power Ranger season, for the most part, are the characters. So if the characters are kind of bland and uninteresting, or not developed enough, like you don't need to flesh them out like a ton, but you need enough where it's like, okay, like I understand these characters. Sometimes they'll have other things going on in their lives outside of being Power Rangers. And, that adds to something. They did that in, like, Beast Morphers, and Dino Fury, Dino Charge, Ninja Steel. Like, they all had other things going on in their lives outside of being Rangers. And they don't really get into that. It's just kind of like they don't really expand on the characters very much. See, I have a picture of them all together, so we'll, yeah, the stream within the stream. So here they all are. We'll go to Orion later, but yeah. Oh, come on, go back, stupid thing. There we go. I know what I'm doing, I swear. It's like, do you, Steve? Yeah, enough. So, we got these, for right now, we'll say 5 main characters. Like I said, we'll talk about Orion in a little bit, because I'm still slightly talking about MegaForce. We'll get into Super MegaForce. It all kind of builds up to, where it falls, where the downfall is, so just hang on. You'll see. So, you introduce these characters. Okay. And, again, it's Power Rangers. I don't need super in-depth characters, but I need at least enough that you understand them and they have sort of their own unique personalities, or are kind of interesting. Like, as stereotypical as the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were, like, when you watch them as a little kid, you always had that favorite one, that one you wanted to be when you grew up, or when you were on the playground you played as, that you could identify with. And yeah, I don't really see it with these characters as much. And again, I also want to specify that I'm specifically talking about the characters. I am not talking about the actors. Okay, I want to specify that. Because I don't shit on actors unless actors are like assholes in real life or something. Like, as far as I know, I have met Christina Masterson, I have met Sierra Hanna, and I've met the Blue Ranger. I'm blanking on his name. I'm sorry. I have met all 3 of them in real life. Super nice, super cool. Like, and I think these guys are all nice in real life. I know. What's his face? Troy was on some reality show where he was like an asshole but I'm also kind of like, well, that's a reality show. Those are scripted and dramatized too, so kind of taking it's like I doubt that that was authentic, but whatever. But yeah, I want to specify talking about characters, I'm not talking about actors. When you're an actor on Power Rangers, you're basically just like, hey, here are the lines, read them, here's the direction, do it. We're shooting for 16 hours, you know, 6 days a week, and on the seventh day, you got to do ADR. Not a whole lot of downtime, not, time to really do your own thing or improvise or anything. So, whatever. Regardless of whether or not you think they're good or bad actors, is kind of irrelevant because if it wasn't them, it'd be somebody else, and you'd be complaining about the same thing. So, just just throw that out the window right then and there. But you have characters, and they have a little bit of their own identities. Like Emma the Pink Ranger is, she's very nice, she's very positive, she loves nature. Like, okay, cool. Not really Kimberly, I was a little bit more girly girl, which I guess really isn't kind of a stereotype in 2013. So it's like, okay, they changed that. Jake the Black and then Green Ranger was kind of a goofball. Zach-esque, but not as cool as Zach. Noah, obviously the intellectual one, kind of Billy-esque. Gia, tough but caring. Somebody pointed this out to me. I think it was my friend Moira on Power Rangers Playback, that there is not a single episode in either Megaforce or Super Megaforce that focuses on Gia. She and Emma have some episodes together, and then Jake obviously has a crush on her, but there's never really an episode that focuses directly on her. And I was like, oh, damn, that's right. That sucks. But then we get to Troy. And here is the issue with the Troy character. Again, character, not the actor. If it wasn't him, it'd be somebody else. So, yeah. Where, Jason in the original was kind of the all-American guy. He was, he was a nice but tough guy. He did martial arts. He was cool. He was a good leader. Again, a little stereotypical, but worked for what his character was. Troy, they do not do anything with Troy to make him interesting. We don't learn anything about his backstory. They do not flesh him out at all. There's like one episode where he like stands up to a bully, which is like this one, but it's like, okay, whatever. This is like really the only time that he stands up to somebody.
Doesn't mean you can pick on him, or even this bug. No matter how small, everything deserves respect.
Whatever, freak show.
The only episode that I recall in the series that they do anything with him, and even that's not really like super fleshing him out. So according to this book, they talk about trying to go back and rewatch Super Megaforce and saying that it's too painful. But yeah, they say that they were going to flesh out the characters, have character arcs, personality traits, and then they just straight up didn't do that. They were originally going to try to bring David Yost, who played Billy in the original series, come back as like a mentor character, which would have been awesome. Eventually we got that in Cosmic Fury and Once and Always. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so yeah, Andrew Gray, who played Troy. You saw that he had visions of the legendary battle. They never flesh out why he has visions. He just does, and then the payoff is, oh, I dreamt about this. And it's like, that's it. Again, we don't learn anything else about Troy. We don't know why he's new in town. They say he overcame adversity. What adversity? We never find out. So yeah, so it basically says that Troy was going to be the chosen one, the inherent connection to the morphing grid. Yeah, they they ended up sadly not doing that. So you know, I kind of figured. Hold on, lights are flickering. Boop boop boop. Don't turn off on me, lights. You keep it. You allow me to be seen on here. I would use the regular lights in my house, but those would not illuminate me enough for you guys to see me well. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell that the lights are flickering. They're plugged in. Hopefully they're not breaking. Shit's not cheap, man. I don't want to buy anything else new. Okay, I think it's fine. I think they're fine. It's fine. Anyway. Oh god, what was I saying? This is what happens when you have ADD. You just get distracted by stuff. Bop. Bop. But yeah, I was saying I kind of figured like that they had ideas, but they just somebody high above, whether it be Saban or some other, you know, executive or whatever, like they were crunched for time, where it's just like, hey, don't worry about it. This is just a 30-minute toy commercial. Like, just like you don't need to flesh them out at all. Just have, you know, all the kids care about are the Power Ranger costumes and the Megazords, and it's like, yeah, little kids like that, but little kids also get attached to characters. I don't know. There's a lot in the book about, you know, because I don't know. It's hard to be. I feel like it's hard to be an executive for, you know, TV executive for programming for children, because it's like it's all corporate adults making decisions, and it's like they can't put their minds or their, you know, their themselves in the mind of like a child. So it's you know, they're making all these like dumb decisions behind the scenes, and it's like, what are you talking about? It's like little kids don't like this, and they watch it. It's like, oh, I guess they do. But yeah, I mean, kind of the big issue was with Megaforce and Super Megaforce was obviously geared to children. I know, I get it. Power Rangers is a children's show. It's a children's franchise. You know, obviously, like, but they're also ignoring the fact that people who grew up with Power Rangers are also into Power Rangers. And when you're doing an anniversary season, you kind of want to like utilize that, because maybe it's like it won't just be the kids watching, it'll be their parents. So yeah. But, you know, that's kind of the problem. I mean, the season kind of goes on, you know, get episode, blah, 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 blah. Robo Knight shows up. Oh, I'm a robot. I don't understand human emotion. And, you know, eventually does, blah, blah, blah. Like, it all kind of, you know, it's very obvious and, you know, whatever. I mean, here's the thing. If Megaforce was just its own thing, like if it was just its own season and it wasn't an anniversary special, or even if it was, but it was just like, hey, we're just kind of doing an homage, you know, pass. mild pass. It would, you know, it would not be looked upon as a good season, but it would be looked upon as probably like an okay, like, all right, whatever. They did a thing. Good for them. So you have kind of a subpar season, characters that are not fleshed out enough to be interesting. And then they also, but it's like, well, these guys are also going to be leading the next season, which is the straight up anniversary, nostalgia, all that stuff. And what do they do with it? They half-ass the shit out of it. Which is perfectly summarized in this scene. Skip ahead, skip ahead. Oh my god, the evil empire is invading. What do we do?
The only ones refusing to let these creeps beat us.
But we have to figure out a way to beat that armada.
The world has never seen an invasion like this.
I mean, it has, but who cares?
The villains you have fought against this past year were just the tip of the spear.
Pew, pew, pew.
An overwhelming foe.
I can't believe the Warstar aliens were just the opening act. Listen.
All right, we're gonna skip ahead a little bit. Blah 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 blah.
I'm sorry, Troy. I cannot. The Armada has affected our communication systems. But I know we will beat this new enemy because of your fighting spirit. It is finally time for you to tap into the infinite power that lines the walls of this command center. These will be your new morphers. With these and your new Ranger keys, you will be able to unlock your Super MegaForce mode.
A mode even stronger than Ultra Mode. Incredible.
That's not all. The figures that line this command center are actually keys to unlocking extraordinary new powers. By using them in your new morphers, you will gain access to Legendary Mode, where you can tap into the special powers of all the Rangers that preceded you. But it will challenge your strength every time you morph into a Legendary Power Ranger.
Nothing we ever do is easy. But we'll take the challenge.
Wow. We can really use all these powers?
The aliens are in for a big surprise.
Am I the only one who notices that my key is the wrong color?
Jake, there's a simple explanation for that.
No, they never answer that, which also is like, it's kind of a joke, but also just straight up lazy writing. That is the big problem with Super MegaForce overall is, first of all, you know, like I said, uninteresting, not fleshed out enough characters, and just lazy writing. Like, just bad writing. Like, oh my god, it's so bad. They never acknowledge that their new powers make them look like pirates, because I think this was going on around the time that, like the Somali pirates, all that stuff was going on in the world. So it's like, I get it, but it's also like, are little kids even aware of that? I don't know. Just kind of seems like an overreaction. So yeah, and it's like, okay, you now have two different powers from two different series. Like, there's no them losing their powers. I mean, I know why they have to have two, because all the footage from the legendary battle only has Goseija, because Go technically takes place before Gokaija, but they decided to do the legendary battle first. Or they decided to do the legendary battle at the end of this series and not the beginning. So it's like, oh, what do we do? I don't know. They just get both powers. It's just, yeah. So just lazy. Just lazy. I mean, it's cool to see them transform into other Rangers. Like, I will, you know, I'll give them that. So, I mean, like, okay, that is cool. I mean, though most of it is just taken directly from uh, Gokaija, but whatever. Um, Also, another thing, too, that they just didn't really do a good job of either is, like I said, they have a couple of side characters, obviously, um, you know, but none of these guys are ever really used enough. Like, one thing I noticed in Megaforce was, okay, obviously they go to the command center in the first episode. I don't think you see the command center for like a good chunk of episodes, like, and you don't see Gosei and Tetsu a whole lot through both seasons. Like, I mean, going back to Mighty Morphin, you know, like, I mean, I'm sure there's like an exception, but I feel like every episode of Mighty Morphin, they were in that command center. You always saw Zordon Alpha. Like, they played such a big part in that series. And then these guys are, you know, basically knockoffs, not as fun or interesting. Again, you have a kind of an eccentric teacher who is in a few episodes of Megaforce, is barely seen at all in Super Megaforce. And then Ernie, it's just, you know, it I don't understand the appeal of like hanging out in a frozen yogurt place in a mall. Like the youth center works so well as like a multi-purpose kind of setting. It's like they had the karate classes there. They hung out there. They had workout stuff. They would have school dance and school events there. Like it, you know, it worked so well. You know, it's just. But then here, it's just like, I mean, I guess they're friendly with him enough, but again, I never get that connection that they had with Ernie and, you know, Mighty Morphin, so it just kind of falls by the wayside to the point where it's like, why even have these characters in there at all? Like, oh my god, he's named Ernie. Isn't that nostalgic? And it's like, yeah, but you didn't make him as interesting as the last Ernie, so. Another kind of just thing of laziness. Sorry, I'm playing with this, but whatever. Fidgeting helps me think. Um, where does Megaforce and Super Megaforce like take place? Obviously, Earth, but they never say like what city they're in, what what the school is called. Like they're not the first series to do that, but I feel like most like we all know Angel Grove. Like Angel Grove again is such a big part of Power Rangers. Angel Grove, Bulk Skull, Miss Appleby, Principal Kaplan, Ernie. Season 3 we got Lieutenant Stone, who was a good character. Like just all these little details that just like make up the world of Power Rangers in those early years. Like all those things that are always acknowledged and referenced. And here, like we have a little bit, but again, it's just not enough. Like if you're gonna have these characters, like you have to utilize them, and they really don't, or at least not in a way that is good. So yeah, so you kind of have that, and again, it's just laziness. Like, we'll get into this. We'll get into this part. Sorry. YouTube likes to be a pain sometimes. Skip ahead, skip ahead. Yeah. Another round of just straight up lead.
New modes that have never been seen before on this planet.
Oh, cool! Let's switch things up! Legendary Ranger mode!
Bring on the new powers!
You're sure giving me an extra kick! These guys are toast!
Nice! Time to take these new powers on attack!
Yeah, so, like, okay, using Sentai footage, obviously, it's a staple of Power Rangers, until, we get the new shit or whatever, but, you know, up until, Cosmic Fury, they, they still use Megazord footage from Sentai, so still counts. But up until then, they use it, fine. Now they're using footage where they're transforming into Sentai series that were not adapted into Power Rangers, which to me, again, just speaks of laziness. 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 It's a...
An alien armada has arrived and
No, go back.
an alien
Damn it. Go back to where...
an alien armada has
Oh my god.
an alien armada has arrived.
Sorry. Like, let's go to this cutscene. Or this cutscene. Let's go to this scene, shall we?
Legendary mode to fight them with. Legendary Ranger mode. Operation Overdrive. Legendary Ranger mode. Ninja Storm. Ninja Sword.
Like, this is all fine.
Legendary Ranger Blitz! Troy's right. We just need to stay one step ahead of them. Legendary Ranger mode in space. I sense a new attack coming. Legendary Ranger mode, Dino Thunder.
My turn. Legendary Ranger mode. CO.
But what's weird is that they shot original footage for that. So they cut around that, but they didn't cut around the other ones. Which is weird.
Bet you didn't see that coming. And here's a little something extra to boot. Legendary Ranger mode, Time Force. Time's up, boys. Time strike, attack.
So, I don't know. It's just, again, it's like, I get the, probably logic of, well, little kids aren't going to notice or care. And it's like, yeah, but you're doing this this is supposed to be an anniversary season for Power Rangers, technically. Like, if you want to have a clever nod to Super Sentai, you could do that. But if you're just like, yeah, this is the footage we got, screw it, just throw it together. Throw it together, and then, yeah, like I said, awful dialogue.
An alien
Jet mode. Lift off.
Oh, come on.
You're strong, but without the fancy suit, I bet you're nothing.
Good thing I have it on then.
Like, terrible lines like that.
Right now, my friends need me. On you. Power of 6. Activate.
It's not what I was looking for. Where was that scene?
Let's go.
I got 4 Rangers down, 2 more to go.
Surprise!
Like even for Power Rangers, that's just bad dialogue. Sorry. I don't know. It reminds me a lot of like Samurai Cop dialogue, where it's like whoever wrote this like is English not their first language. It's just bad. It's just bad. So yeah, bad dialogue. Like yeah, so just laziness overall, and then just a waste of episodes. Like, okay, Go which is what uh, Super MegaForce is adapted from, is 51 episodes. 51 episodes, and then during its run, there's like 3 theatrical movies. So you have all of this to pull from. 20 episodes. And what kind of BS do they adapt? It's a stupid episode where Lavira has a crush on Jake.
He's so cute. Butler.
Yes, Lavira?
I have an assignment for you. It's very important. Can you handle it?
Of course, my dearest. I mean, yes, ma'am.
It's like, of all the episodes that you could adapt, like, why that one? You don't need it. It's stupid. Like,
No way! I can't!
Well, do you want to impress her or not?
I know I'm getting impressed.
Okay.
and then another pointless episode where Tetsu like gets struck by lightning and loses his memory. It's just like, why are you wasting time with this?
Oh, hello. Did you tell me who I am? Or anything at all? Hello? Fine. Be that way. How rude. I wish I were taller so they'd pay attention to me. Maybe that furry guy can tell me who I am. Hello? Throw me a bone here.
So yeah, just like you didn't need any of that. You didn't need any of that. Like there's so much stuff you could have adapted. Example time. See, I kind of prepped for this. Like, do an American adaptation of this. Enemy gets a hold of Ranger keys and makes evil versions. Skipping ahead, let's get to the actual battle. Can only show these clips for a few minutes, so. But look at this. Look how cool this is. Like, come on. You couldn't have adapted this. Like, what? The footage is there. Footage is there, guys. Yeah, sorry. I said it wasn't mean or bully, but I'm going to say annoyed. Yeah, and then they, the next episode they fight more of these. Or 16, yeah. Like, how cool is that? Come on. Mm. But yeah, isn't that so cool? Also, like, it just has this more, like, just epic feel to it. And it's like, could recreate that for Super MegaForce. You know, it wouldn't necessarily, like, take up more money or whatever. I don't know. It's just, you don't really get that epic feel that Gokaija does. Like, the characters in Gokaija are 10 times more interesting and have their own, like, much more unique personalities and whatnot. And just, if we're talking about another missed opportunity, you know, throw this one in here. I think it's in this one. Or no, it's this one. What, something that they changed, which I don't know why. Again, it would have been a lot cooler, but okay. For whatever reason, they change into Lost Galaxy.
So try as hard as you want. You can't defeat what you can't hit. Hey guys, keep at it. Give them all we've got.
Maybe add just a little bit.
So down, but I'm not.
Hey. Where's the scene where he hits the thing?
We're not going down that easy, guys. Keep at it. Give them all we've got. But so is that force field. It's going to be a major challenge to overcome that.
Anyway, the point is, this is a lot cooler. Same fight, but one slight change. They all turn into Six Rangers, which is appropriate because this is the episode that introduced the Six Ranger guy, the counterpart of Orion. But yeah, so it's just like you could have adapted that, you know. I mean, you could go through, you know, oh, Superman. I don't want this just to be like Gokaija did this better, Gokaija did this, because I mean that's kind of everything. But okay, Yeah, because I'm also, you know, I'm also kind of a big component of, I don't really do the whole, which one. I mean, I feel like this we've kind of evolved since that. It's like, which one is better, Super Sentai or Power Rangers? To me, like overall, it's very much an apples and oranges thing. I like them both. I don't really compare, contrast like, individual seasons. Like if I've seen, you know, Super Sentai first, or I've seen Power Ranger first, and then I watch its counterpart. For the most part, I can watch them both as their own thing without constantly thinking of the other one. So, like I said, an apple and oranges thing. But, however, in this specific scenario, yes, Gokaija is way, way better than Super Megaforce. But again, that is a one-off. That is an exception. Just because of just how poorly it was handled, and just how boring it is, and just not that great. Uh, but yeah, and it's just again, it doesn't really do much to really, you know, uh, pay homage to Power Ranger. Like, okay, we got a couple cameo performances early on. Uh, yeah, Samurai 1, obviously. We got Jaden and Mentor J.
You can see why they were chosen.
Yeah. A team like that defending the Earth, I'd say we're in very good hands.
How was it for you at Unis?
Never tried it, but it has to be better than Mia's cooking.
Shall we?
Definitely.
We got those guys. The next episode, we got.
Like tigers, bare hands can be as mighty as any weapon out there.
Yeah, very good, Emma. Very good.
No.
We got Casey from Jungle Fury.
Good. Now dig deep inside and concentrate.
And it's like, okay, that's cool. Like, oh, they're going to have a bunch of cameos. And then we get nothing else until the last episode. Not even the last 2 episodes, but the last episode. We build up this legendary battle, and then we barely get any of it. Here's the extended cut of it. And it's like, it's cool, the cameos are kind of cool. Sorry.
An alien armada.
Come on. Like, it's nice to see past Rangers show up.
Someone help us! We're stuck in the elevator! Can anybody hear us out there?
Please help! This man's hurt!
Don't worry, guys. We've got this.
Everything seems fine. You're gonna be okay.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Thank you,
What's your name?
Danny. And this is Bigsley.
Nice names.
Careful.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got the most epic cameo.
Brave. You could be a superhero one day.
So yeah, so a couple cameos. Some of them don't even get lines, which is also kind of weird. Like, okay. Yeah, so yeah, all this build up, blah, blah. And then we get a super quick fight. Like, I liked all the Rangers showing up. Like, that's cool.
No way. There's more?
This can't be happening.
How can we defeat an army this size?
One more fight, guys. This is it.
Hey, guys. Look over there. What's going on?
No, who are they?
Legendary Rangers.
So they all show up, and then we get the epic of some of them taking off their helmets. And yeah, it's cool to see these guys, but yeah, some of them don't get lines at all. So it's like, why bring them back if they're not going to do anything?
I knew it. I've dreamt about this.
That is the only payoff we have to him from premonitions. Nothing there. So nothing much there. Then they do the battle. And it is only like a couple minutes. With terrible, terrible dialogue.
Time to create a new legend.
Which we have seen earlier in the night. And all their shots are disconnected from the Sentai footage.
I never thought we get to fight alongside the actual legendary Rangers!
Seriously, I'm so pumped up, I don't even need to power up. Hello, old friend.
Glad to be back.
Nice, Wild Force.
We could finally win this war! They're dropping like flies!
Oh man, my butt's numb. My butt's numb.
Everyone, bump up the power. Use your special attacks. Yeah. Don't have to ask me twice. Snake axe.
I don't know why they use Jason David Frank voice for that.
This is it, guys. Let's end this for good. Super Mega Final Strike Charge! Mega weapons, combine! Mega Force Blaster, ready! Dynamic Victory Charge! Super Spear Blaster! Now that was legendary, and we have some new friends to thank for it.
So it's like all that build up for a battle that takes couple of minutes. So yeah, just a lot of missed opportunity here. It's a shame. It's just a shame. It could have been super epic. They should have filled out all the stops, not use Super Sentai footage that had costumes that weren't used in Power Rangers. It's just laziness. Why even have these characters if you're not going to do anything with them? I mean, I know Orion works at Ernie's Froyo shop for a while, but like Mr. Burley basically disappears from Super MegaForce. He kind of shows up, but doesn't really do anything. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about Orion, the most generic backstory ever.
An alien armada.
I was an alien, and then I just happened to find the the Morpher, and then freaking, and the Six Rangers talked to him.
I kept my discovery secret, but had no idea what to do with them. But once I held them close together, they emitted a strange energy. That's when I had my first vision of the legendary Six Rangers. I sensed I was meant to find them, that they were calling to me. I looked at it for days.
I knew it meant something special, but I didn't dare put the key in the box.
Foiled? Morpher.
Morpher.
So it's just like as annoying as Guy can kind of be, like the idea of the Sixth Ranger being like a Super Sentai fanboy is like a fun idea. Uh,
あいつ変身した。どうしてですか？マーベラスさん、私たち以外にもレンジャー機を渡していたのですか？
yeah, I don't know if they ended this episode or not, but he talks to, like in a dream, three Rangers that had passed away in the show. Let me see if it's in here. I'm just gonna show it to you because it's cool. It'll load. I think if we go to this episode, it'll be there. See if it'll pop up. Come on. Come on. Steve gets distracted and just kind of plays random stuff. That ties into what I'm talking about. As I said, guys, I didn't have a ton of time to plan this one, so I'm making the best of it. Trying to make my argument, my comments or whatever. You guys are more than welcome to still chime in. We got about like 15 minutes left. So all of these Rangers passed away in the show.
当然ですよ。基本中の基本です。そうか。しかしお前、無茶なことしたもんだ。まだ若いの。そんなことないです。自分の危険を顧みず誰かを守る。
All right, I'll stop. I'll turn this off.
俺の知り合いにもいたぜ。そういう無茶のできるやつが。久々にときめいた。え？受け取れ。これは俺たちが生み出した公開セルラーとレンジャー機だ。それを使って一番のヒーローになれ。本当に俺が？俺たちアバレンジャー、タイムレンジャー、10レンジャー、3つのスーパー戦隊の大いなる力もお前にくれてやる。大いなる力って何ですか？そのうちわかる。思い切りときめけ。
Yeah, so basically, Guy is a Super Sentai fanboy, and he has this epic vision of three, three Six Rangers from Super Sentai who have all passed away. Like it's such a fun idea, and it's like you know, again, I feel bad just being like, well, Gokaiger did this and Super MegaForce didn't. It's like, which is kind of like, it's like, yeah, but it's like also you could have done something like that instead of just like, I was an alien, I just happened to find the morpher, and then I guess my planet got wiped out except for me. Blah, it's like blah blah blah. Like it's just such a boring backstory.
I was afraid of what might happen if I did. But the invasion changed everything. I had nothing to lose. Pay for this.
Although, again, to be fair, he's the only character that has any kind of backstory or depth to him, like in this entire series. So it's something. It's not much, but it's something. But I don't know. It's just they took kind of a lot of the fun out of it. I mean, yes, it's a cheesy show. Like, I'm not saying there isn't humor, but it's just so generic. Like, it's too generic and just kind of slapped together. And again, only 20 episodes, and they just don't really do a whole lot. They have 2 episodes that are basically just Megaforce episodes. They're like, oh, you can't use your 6 Ranger powers right now because we got to fight Brock.
Don't let him intimidate you. We better power up. Super Mega Mode. Something's wrong.
What's happening? Our morphers aren't working.
Wow, you Power Rangers are quick. Yes, I've disabled your super mode. What?
Because we can't use that footage for either of these episodes. Yeah, they make Vrock. Vrock is the main villain in Megaforce. I don't know why I keep cutting back to this little chubby kid. Sorry. Yeah.
Our world was.
I don't know why it does that.
World was one.
All right. Yeah. Brock's a robot because robot. Yeah, they established that he and the Emperor they established that he and the main bad guy in Super MegaForce are brothers, but they're never on screen together, and it's just like, oh, we defeated him. Oh, let's do this 2-part. And then they get back to the Megaforce stuff, and then the Emperor, their father, shows up. Blah 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 blah. It's just like I don't know. It's just annoying. Just not enough there. It's just too much, like too little effort put into a season that had way too much pressure on it. I feel like, you know, this legendary season, this legendary battle, as you would have it, you know, all these Rangers coming back. It's just, you know, they should have. This is something that they just should have pulled all the stops out on, you know, had some extra stuff. Maybe had done like a TV movie as a finale, you know, tried to get more people to come back in cameos. Like, I know what they basically just sent out like a mass email that's like, hello, Power Rangers, do you want to come to New Zealand? Like for, you know, a couple days, and it was like super impersonal, and they were barely offering anybody any money. And it's at the time, it's like, well, they shoot the show in New Zealand, which is pretty far away, and it's like a lot of these other former actors are pretty busy with other projects and can't really drop like what they're doing. So it's just, there's so many just kind of hiccups, and just, you know, it's a shame. It just kind of fell apart a little bit, you know. But what can you do? What can you do? You know, it was a low point for Power Rangers, definitely. I'm not going to say it's the worst thing ever. I'm not gonna say, oh, I absolutely hate it. You know, there's a couple things about it that I like. You know, I mean, most of the stuff I like is just race cycle footage from Gokaiger, but whatever. You know, they more than made up for it in the next seasons. You know, we had Dino Charge, we had Ninja Steel, which had a better anniversary special. We finally got the 30th anniversary special. Um, you know, Beast Morphers was a great season. Dino Fury, Cosmic Fury, like Cosmic Fury brought back Billy. So yeah, they stepped it up after that. It's just, you know, it was a shame because this was something that was just um, you know, hyped up. You know, you even in, you know, back in, you know, 2010, 2011, I mean, people were still watching. People were watching Super Sentai online. Like it's not like it was in the 90s. You know, pre-internet days, like before anyone knew what Super Sentai was. You know, like those days, people were watching Super Sentai online. You know, I think that was even pre it them actually officially releasing stuff. So either illegally downloading it, torrenting it, watching it on, you know, websites or whatever, doing what I do and buying DVD bootlegs. So yeah, so people were more familiar with Super Sentai and they see like, oh shit, like I really like Gokaiger. I wonder how Power Rangers is going to, you know, do it, you know, that way. And then they just didn't bring it. You know, they just didn't bring it. They just kind of half-assed it. They did it like very lazily. Again, I understand time restrictions. I understand budget restrictions. I get all that. Like obviously that stuff. There's always going to be those kind of business aspects. But it's just again, it's something that they weren't really looking at, you know, how big this could have been. You know, I mean, I know they wanted to do the Power Ranger movie, the 2017 movie or whatever. They were focusing on toy sales, like they were focusing on that stuff, but they were marketing it just to little kids. When it's like, no, you kind of have a very much of a opportunity to not only capitalize on new fans, but also old fans coming back, like which obviously they did, but just you know, they watched it and they were like, well, this is a piece of shit. So, you know, it's a shame. You know, it's always like, you know, what could have been, blah blah blah. You know, but I don't know. You know, like I said, they got better from there. Like I said, I really like. I think they changed showrunners too after Super MegaForce. They had one of their previous ones for Dino Charge, and you know, Dino Charge was a lot better. It had a story. It had, you know, characters with enough depth that you understand what's happening, that you care about them. You know, so yeah, they got better. It's just, you know, it's just they didn't do it when they should have done it. So that was just kind of the fail. Like I said, the problem is laziness, not great writing, and then just uninteresting characters that are then like put in as, you know, put pressure on by having to, you know, be in this super epic season that really kind of let people down. So it's just a shame, you know, but it is what it is. I just wanted to share my thoughts on it with you guys, and I'm kind of glad that the uh, movie that I showed was like an hour and 20 minutes, because then I only had to talk to you. I only had to ramble on for like an hour and a half instead of like 3 whole hours. So that kind of worked out. Yeah. But anyway, got a couple of minutes, so for I appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight. I might try to work on getting this up on YouTube before I go to bed tonight. I know I got work tomorrow, but I just kind of want to get this done as quickly as possible, because I'm not going to be home starting Tuesday. Well, tomorrow night. I am dog/house sitting for my parents from September 3rd through the 10th. So Wednesday to Wednesday, but I'm going over there, oh god, tomorrow night, just to kind of spend the night, because that's just easier, because it's like I got to get up and work, so, you know, easier to just already be there, already have my laptop and everything set up for work, so it's just easier to do that. But yeah, if you guys like what you see, please take a chance and follow us here on Twitch and TikTok, and like us and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you guys want to check out some of our other content, some funny clips from our previous streams, go to our TikTok page. Our past streams, go to our YouTube. Like I said, I will try to get this one up on YouTube as quickly as possible for everyone. We don't do these ones on YouTube because I tend to show a lot of copyright stuff and don't want to get in trouble for that. Twitch and TikTok, there's a way to work around it. YouTube, there kind of really isn't. So, yeah, gotta be creative. And then if you guys want to hang out, talk to us, we can talk about Power Rangers, we can talk about, movies, TV shows, video games. It's the start of September, so I consider that the start of spooky season, so I'm going to spend the next 2 months watching almost nothing but horror movies and horror shows. I mean, I've kind of already been doing that already, but but it's September, so that means I'm serious about it. Just a reminder, guys, Carla, my lovely co-host, will be on tomorrow night and Wednesday night from starting at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for Carla's Corner, playing Cyberpunk 2077. She absolutely loves that game, so if you guys are also fans of that game or just want to hang out and watch someone else play it, please tune in for that. Yes, exactly, David. Spooky season. And then I will be back Thursday, guys. So I'm no longer doing both. I'm no longer doing 2 different segments. I am doing just one called Steve's Chaos Hour, which Dylan has made a graphic for us, which we will reveal on Thursday. I don't know. Carla might reveal her new one tomorrow. I'm not sure. But yeah, I am going to be playing God of War, the PS4 God of War game, until it is completed, and then I will play a horror game for you guys. Well, in all honesty, as soon as Silent Hill F comes out, I'm playing that. Like, whatever game I'm playing at that point, it's going to take a backseat to Silent Hill F until that game's done, because I really want to play that one. I ain't waiting. Also, it's more fun to play horror games when you guys are watching than just by myself, like in my free time. So yeah, that's gonna happen. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to go over with you guys. Nice name. Thank you. Carla actually came up with Steve's Chaos Hour. We were kind of throwing around different names, and Carla threw that out, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. I approve of that. So yeah, Steve's Chaos Hour was Carla's idea, so give Carla the credit she deserves. But yeah. All right, cool, guys. I'm going to end this stream here. Got about a minute, but again, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight on Twitch and TikTok. Hope you guys have a wonderful. Hope you guys had a wonderful Labor Day. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Carla will see you tomorrow night. I will see you guys on Thursday. Take it easy. Yeah.